right side of the infield. Coming a couple of steps in and to his left is Rivera, and he will put that one away for the second out.
You've seen Done a little bit trigger happy here, and that's what happens to you when you hit 2 home runs and as many at-bats as you mentioned. You're going to want to swing at everything you see. Seeing it like a beach ball, can't blame Brody there.
So Aaron Parker up to the plate. Quickly 2 away here in the top of the second, and he takes a fastball outer third for strike 1.
And just because there are 2 outs, this is a Hyannis team that finds a way to work with 2 outs.
The off-speed pitch misses inside, 1-1.
It's so impressive. It almost seems like there's a switch that clicks on. As soon as 2 outs come, the approach looks a little different.
1-1, another off-speed pitch misses away.
And they just lock in on every at-bat, and it's really impressive. I haven't seen it at many other levels to be able to say that about an entire team, how good they look at locking in with 2 outs.
Missed away again, that time with a fastball, and it's 3-1.
And that's same with the MO with 2 outs, and then in the later of the game when your back is against the wall, they seem to come out and really deliver.
3-1 once again, missed outside. He was pulling his pitches just a little bit and missed with 4 straight off the plate away to Aaron Parker, who draws the walk, and that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Trey Lipsy.
Number 2, Trey Lipsy.
Hyannis on top 1-0. It'll be righty on lefty here to the recently, just a couple of hours ago, named All-Star and Trey Lipsy. Parker gets a small lead from first, and the first pitch is taken with a fastball below the knees, ball 1.
You know, I think Trey really deserves that all-star nod because he's come in, he's been with the team the whole season and maybe started off a little bit slow, but since YD, he's found himself a real resurgent player on both sides of the ball.
1-0 fouled off to the left side.
And you can even say his defense has been here the entire time, and his hitting was there. He was consistently getting on base. It wasn't through the hit per se. It was hit by pitches and walks, and then his aggressive nature on the base paths, but making an impact. But over the last couple of games, he has been stellar.
Rothermill, 1-1 on the way, misses away, and it's 2-1.
Clearly the All-Star voters see hit by pitches as a reason to be voting him on. He gets himself on base and he scores a lot of runs. And not to mention he's been hitting over 400 in his last 10 games. So this is a guy who's coming into the All-Star selections real hot.
Count leverage for Lipsy, but he fouls that one away.
And also think when you come to the Milton Cat All-Star game here at White House Field on Saturday, only 6 days away, you're in front of the biggest scouts for the MLB, and you're able to do it. So being able to be selected on top of that isn't just helping you and for your own self-confidence, but also helps for your professional career in baseball.
2-2 drops just outside with an off-speed pitch, and the count will run full. So that means Aaron Parker will get a good jump. He'll be able to run towards second right as the pitch is released. Infield slightly shifted to the right on Lipsy. 3-2. Hit him.
Hey.
It hit him right in that elbow Evo shield. And there's 2 on with 2 outs, and Trey Lipsy extends his league lead in hit by pitches. And that is number
44 of the season.
And is that 10 now for Lipsy?
That
Has he
is
reached
10
double
now,
digits?
correct.
Wow.
Came in with 9 on the day.
So here's Nick Mitchell after a walk and a hit by pitch with 2 outs. Hyannis looking for more 2-out magic, and he takes an off-speed pitch down and in.
And credit to Lipsy there. He worked himself into that full count, so even if it doesn't hit him, it's way, way inside. So he's working himself that walk either way.
1-0. Missed outside with a fastball, and suddenly Rothermill has been unable to find the zone. Cloudy day here on Cape as the 2-0 misses outside, and it couldn't be handled by the catcher Yu, so both runners will move up 90 feet on what may be a pass ball.
We will see what it rolls down in Point Streaking Game Live.
But meanwhile, it's 3-0 to the leadoff hitter Mitchell, who struck out in the first. It's going to be ruled a pass ball. 3-0, and it hits him square in the back. So after setting down the first two hitters with a fly out, a pop out, Rothermill has now walked and hit two hitters to load the bases, and that's going to prompt a trip to the mound from pitching coach R.J. Thomas.
It's so funny. It's almost like it's circumstantial that it just happens to be with 2 outs that Hyannis sometimes works their magic. Is now just suddenly, as you said, the base is loaded, 2 hit by pitches and a walk. Maybe with 1 out, you saw it. Donay popped up. It's so funny how they almost find themselves in these situations almost at random. Like this you don't see this happening much with no outs or 1 out. It seems to always happen with 2.
This is Vegas caliber luck right now for them sometimes. But you have to give credit to him because it hasn't been coming over the last 2 games. It hasn't been coming down to those 2 outs. They've been getting ahead eagerly in the half innings. So while that was their MO a little bit later, it still is right now. They've been able to try and revert the ship a little bit and start attacking with no outs and even 1 or 2.
So here's Zach Earhart, who he himself worked a walk in the first inning, shows bunt but pulls back as he watches the breaking ball go low and away into the opposite batter's box. And Rothermill has been missing away a lot, and here he throws another off-speed pitch that misses high above the letters, so quickly 2-0.
They work that way out of the last 2 games with less than 2 outs because of their guys who they've had up who are able to elevate the ball.
2-0 down in the dirt. A block from you saves a run from coming home, but it's now 3-0 to Earhart with no place to put him. You got to imagine a bright red light for him. 1-0 Harbor Hawks, but they're threatening for more, and he just catches the outer third of the plate as Earhart was on his way to first base. But a good pitch right on the black extends the at-bat. It's 3-1. Bases loaded, top 2. Rothermill sets and delivers, and another called strike as Earhart once again took a couple of steps towards first base. He caught the outer third with a fastball.
Earhart there fooled a little bit on where the zone may be, both times giving those walks down.
Everybody's going to be in motion here. Bases loaded, 3-2 count, 2 outs, top 2. The pitch to Earhart is called strike 3 on a pitch above the letters. And that will end the inning. Earhart couldn't believe it. It's still 1-0 Harbor Hawks, though, on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
Be a bad mother.
1-0 Harbor Hawks, though it could be more as they strand bases loaded in the top of the second after Zach Earhart strikes out, looks at strike 3 on a 3-2 count, a borderline call.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Earhart, you can't be too mad at it because it really looked like it was a little bit high. And credit to the Harbor Hawks for working the bases loaded there. And Earhart may feel a little bit hard done there.
So now for Harwich, it will be 4, 5, and 6 here as they went down in order in the first. But defensively, Hyannis aligns like this. Nick Mitchell in left, Earhart in center, and Lipsy in right. Infield left to right, Smith, Gazdar, Hainline, and York. And then Aaron Parker is back behind home plate, putting down the signs for this one today.
It's been a defense that we've seen a lot better of in terms of fundamentals over the last few games. There was a bit of a blow-up game 2 days ago as we saw 3 errors against Chatham, but in the end that didn't matter. All 3 of those errors came within the first 3 innings too. But outside of that, it's been pretty clean so far, and you think that that's also helping them. It was a really clean game yesterday. We'll talk. I want to talk about that game throughout the broadcast, but yesterday was as clean as it gets, and it's been looking a lot better and a lot more like that.
Mason Nichols back to work, and the first pitch is in there. Strike 1 at the knees to Guerra.
And Nichols just got to continue what he was doing because he was attacking hitters and finding the black.
0-1 on the way, misses high with a fastball. Guerra hitting .254 on the year. A home run and 5 runs batted in. 1-1 on the way. It's an off-speed pitch that's lined into center field, and that will get down in front of Earhart, who will field it on 2 hops and throw it in. So Guerra has a leadoff single for Devin Obie.
Center fielder from Duke, number 24, Devin Obie.
Good response from the Mariners. Get your leadoff man aboard. But Nichols going to have to work with some traffic.
So the first base runner of the game for Harwich. First hit of the game as well, as the fastball misses up and in. Obie was just named an All-Star. White House Field right here in Harwich will be the host of it next weekend. 1-0, and that's a pop-up. Parker couldn't find it for a second, but he'll watch that one go out of play behind home plate. And finally, we got some kids chasing after foul balls.
Yeah, you have to imagine for the Milton Cat All-Star game, they will be out abundantly across this White House Field with cavernous areas down the left and right field lines to try and go get foul balls, which there'll be plenty of.
1-1 is foul tipped into Parker's glove, and it's 1-2. Yeah, this place is going to be packed for that All-Star game. I'm very much looking forward to it. Next Saturday, just 6 days from now. 1-2 to Obie. Guerra gets his lead from first. Fastball misses high.
We've seen him miss high a few times this inning so far, so just about finding the release point and maybe even slinging some off speed in there as well so he can kind of find something with the fastball.
Nichols out of the stretch, gets his sign, sets at the belt, kicks and deals, and a fastball misses in on the hands. So the count runs full. This is a guy you don't want to walk.
Especially not. You could have listed a ground ball. That would be huge because you have the double play possibility on.
3-2 from Mason Nichols. On the way. Swing and a miss, high fastball. He swings at ball 4 above the letters, and a very nice pitch from Nichols to get Obie.
Up with the eyes. It's that high cheddar. I love it because it just goes to show you that you're changing your eye line and you're watching batters how they are deceptively moving with their eyes, and high fastball just pulls his eyes way up out of the zone, even trying to go for it and reaching for it. But a great placement to put it just high enough that he's got to really go up there to try and grab it.
Yeah, that's Austin Kelly territory up there, and I think it's exclusively Austin Kelly territory. It's a really, really good pitch, beneficiary of those high misses so far. Good work to put it close enough from Nichols to elicit the strikeout.
Ali Camarillo will stand in and foul that one straight back. A windy day. Wind has really come in here, playing a factor. There were scattered thunderstorms leading up to this game. Within 45 minutes of it, it was still raining. But it has cleared up, giving us a window to get this game in. 0-1 misses high with a fastball. And finally, blue skies are visible out towards right center field. There's a big patch of blue, but still mostly cloudy. 76 degrees here from Harwich.
Yeah, despite all the rain, field's looking in pretty good condition too, so they've kept it up and had to tend to it, and it looks really good.
1-1 to Camarillo, and it slips out of his hand. Nichols tried to throw a breaking ball, but it missed about 6 or 7 inches above the plate.
It's going to be key just making sure your hand is dry, especially with the conditions and how they're a little wet at times here.
Both times we've been here, there's been a big mud spot on the warning track right in front of us.
So they're going to move the count to 2-2 as the batter was not ready and able within the pitch clock for Mason Nichols.
So a good break for Nichols, and now he has a waste pitch. Try and come back and get him here on 2-2. On the way, and it's a fastball that he fouls straight back to the screen. He was on it.
I want to see an off-speed pitch here because he went with the high cheddar last at bat to Obi, and Camarillo has that in his mind. So now that he's seen a fastball, and now that Nichols has thrown it, I want to see something a little bit lower and off-speed here because Camarillo has that thought in his head. So now to go a little down with the off-speed could completely change it up.
1-0 Hyannis, 2-2. Here's the pitch. And it's poked at and tapped to Gazdar at short. He turns aggressively to Hainline over at second. His relay to first at York is not nearly in time, but Hyannis gets the lead runner, and there are 2 outs in the inning.
And you're able to get the lead runner, which you talked about, Mickey, is big because you remove a runner from scoring position. Since Hyannis still only leads 1-0 here, that one run can be a deciding factor in this one.
That was actually a really good turn by Elijah Hainline. Quick hands at second base. I think it was just the fact that the ball was grounded a little too weakly. If that's hit straight to John, that's an easy double play.
And Camarillo had great speed down the line as well to beat it out.
So here's Sauke. First pitch to him is jammed back towards the fence. 0-1. And that's one of those plays that you want to see it hit harder if you're the defense. Give John a little bit more time to get that one over to second.
Especially with John playing on the edge of the grass and infield dirt.
Sauke about to see a 0-1, but the throw over to first gets away from York. They tried to pick off the runner Camarillo, but it will trickle down the right field line. York collects it in, allowing Camarillo to move up 90 feet.
And on the pickoff attempt, Camarillo also got plunked with it diving back in as
square in the back.
Square in the back. He's shaken up a little bit, but stays out there.
It'll be the second baseman Elijah Hainline holding Camarillo on the bag. And Sauke sees an 0-1, and it drops in there, outer third of the plate with a breaking ball for strike 2.
Great breaking ball that's working the bottom of the zone. That is fooling batters and really not having them go for it because it dips down just in time and right before the zone for making them think like it will be a ball, but comes in late enough.
Sauke hitting .212 on the year. Takes a fastball chin high out over the plate, ball 1.
That's that high fastball we talked about that he's positioned so far today. That one just a little too high on placement to try and get Sauke to go around.
Yeah, but it heightens the eye line. A lot of pitchers will throw a breaking ball low in this situation. 1-2 to him is fouled back. Remains 1-2. Hyannis leads 1-0 in the bottom of the second. 2 outs, 1-2 count. Camarillo gets his lead from second. Here's the pitch to Sauke, and before that, Nichols will step off and throw to second. Camarillo was getting a aggressive lead over there, dancing around, as Jacob Irons likes to say, do the cha-cha slide.
Or Cuban shuffle, depending on the moves. Is
there a difference?
Yeah, the run. Oh yes.
Oh, absolutely.
The runner decides which dance move you're pulling.
1-2. Popped up right side. York and Parker converging on it, but it's going to be Parker calling everybody off right in front of the Hyannis dugout to put away out number 3. So Harwich strands the runner at second, and Hyannis preserves their 1-0 lead on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
One nothing Harbor Hawks. They'll try to add on going into the third. But first, we are going to take a look at the standings around the league. The East is really interesting. The West is also really interesting, and Jacob Irons has them right now.
Yeah, we'll start with the East. It goes YD, Harwich, Orleans, Brewster, and Chatham. A very solid group, but 31 points. YD pacing the way. Harwich Mariners trying to work themselves up.
Cam Smith leads it off and flies one sky high to right. Sauke got a bad jump on it. He comes in, he didn't see it, and it falls in front of him about 15, 20 feet in front of him. He just never saw it, and Cam Smith is aboard.
Yeah, it looked like an easy little pop-up. Looked like Sauke had it under control, and then he took an instant step from going back all the way back in, and it just dunked in front.
So that'll bring up Zach York hitting second with Cam Smith at first. First pitch to him misses outside.
Now that's got to be your concern here if you're the Mariners, that you have Cam Smith on with Zach York up. There's a multitude of ways that York can be able to move Cam Smith.
1-0 to York. It's a high pop-up. Left side, King and Guerra are converging on it, and it's going to fall in between the two of them. So Guerra will pick it up, throw it into the infield, but there's first and second.
That's because Camarillo was playing so close to second base. That's normally a shortstop's ball on that diagonal movement, and King's got to look directly up for it, loses it, but it's in shallow enough area that Guerrero, who's playing a pretty deep left field, falls victim to Camarillo being closer to that second base bag to not even make an attempt.
So Rothermill, who probably should have given up a run in the top of the third, and here's bunting is Hainline down the first base line. Really good bunt, and nobody's at first. A complete defensive miscue from Harwich as the first baseman Anderson and the pitcher Rothermill both converged on the bunt, and nobody was on first. And it was a really good bunt as well that just stuck in the dirt.
It's a beautiful bunt by Hainline. Don't get me wrong with the speed there, as it stayed right in the grass in the wet, not moving all that much. But with Anderson crashing in, Rivera and Camarillo went both there.
Yeah, if you're those middle infielders, you have to be communicating on who is covering first there. That should be Rivera's ball to cover, and there was no one there.
So John stands in, bases loaded, nobody out, and he takes a strike at just below the letters. So 3 straight hits that really depended on the defense. 0-1, misses down and away. John wanted it, but was able to check his swing on appeal. Sauke lost that fly ball, hit by Smith, and then York was able to dunk one in between Camarillo and Guerra. And now a bunt single. 1-1 to Gazdar is taken in there for a strike, and he doesn't agree with it.
Not a fan of that call, but once again, got to play to the zone that is being called here, and Gazdar does a great job of adjusting.
1-2 the count. Pitch misses down and away, and a good stop by you, the catcher, and it's 2-2. 1-0 Hyannis, but for the second straight inning, they have the bases loaded. This time they have it with no outs. And the 2-2 misses way outside with a breaking ball.
And now with no outs here, that allows for a long opportunity because now a fly ball into a large majority of the outfield will be able to do it.
3-2 is a bouncing ball to the left side, and it gets through. Cam Smith will come across to score, and they'll go station to station, holding York at third. And John Gazdar has another RBI. It's 2-0 Hyannis.
Now that's 4 straight singles now to start this top of the third off for the Harbor Hawks. That is great hitting. While it may have come at a little bit of the Harwich errors, they're unforced errors there, and they are able to find gaps and just dunk them in and be really strong in how they want to hit.
And now it's Brody Donay in a bases-loaded situation, and the first pitch misses way outside. You had to go diving for it, and the last time we saw Donay in a bases-loaded situation, he put one over the left field wall.
Yeah, props to his situational hitting in that situation, and props to the situational hitting here from Hyannis.
1-0 is lined down the left field line, and it will get down the line. York's going to score. Right behind him is Hainline. Brody Donay is going to pull into second with a 2 RBI double. Holding at third is Gazdar, and it's 4-0 Hyannis.
And that's what Brody Donay does when he knows a pitch that's coming. He sits on it and just absolutely barrels it up, drives it down that left field line. And again, the hits keep coming. It's old-time rock and roll baseball here at Wright House Field for Hyannis here in the third.
5 straight hits to open up the inning, and Aaron Parker stands in. First pitch misses outside.
What an offensive surge that Hyannis has been able to put together, and still continuing, still nobody away here as well as this hit fest is coming with nobody out.
Already 6 hits on the game as Parker watches a fastball called strike one.
Got a little bit of motion down in the Mariners bullpen, but still appears to be a ways away.
1-1, a curveball missing down and in.
It's Blake Purnell out of Florida. Would see his first appearance of the summer if he was to come into this one.
2-1 to Parker. A fastball that misses outside, and it's 3-1 with Trey Lipsy on deck.
With Parker here on a 3-1 count. Make it your pitch here. It's got to be a strike, you have to imagine.
And he missed up and away with a fastball. So they're loaded again, and now 6 straight Harbor Hawks have reached to open up the third. They're loaded again for Trey Lipsy, who's been seeing the ball really well.
From Ohio State, number 2, Trey.
Seeing the ball really well indeed. And what makes Trey so dangerous in these situations is his speed here as well, because he can put down a bunt and very well be able to get aboard if they want to try and work another Harwich miscue.
First pitch to him is tapped foul directly at me. But the fence saves me.
Nah, not with my glove hand. That's mine. That one's mine.
0-1 to Lipsy with the bases loaded.
You both can have them. Don't worry. Don't worry. You guys can take. You guys are more than happy to take any ball that comes my way. All you guys.
3-0 Hawks. 4-0 Hawks. 3 runs in on the inning as the curveball misses down and in.
Now you're evening the count against Lipsy, and with the speed of Gazdar at third as well, don't be shocked if you see him moving on any pitch he likes.
Rothermill throws a fastball inner third of the plate, and that's fouled back by Lipsy. 1-2 now with Gazdar at third, Donay at second, and Parker at first, still with nobody out. The pitch to Lipsy misses way up and away. Full extension from you to go up and grab that one.
That's a big save from you, because this is a deep backstop at White House Field. We talked about it last time in that big 7th and 8th innings for the Harbor Hawks, where it played a factor on wild pitches.
Lipsy sits back on a curveball and just gets a piece. It's fouled back, and it's 2-2 still. Infield straight up, outfield straight up as well. On the way, Lipsy taps it foul again, and a good at-bat.
And this is something that Trey's been doing a lot more, is working those at-bats and then also using that to his advantage and then using it to work himself an end product. He's got one more ball to work with here to work the count full, but I don't think he's going to want to take it. He'd rather just jump on a pitch.
2-2, again fouled back.
This will now be the 8th pitch of the at-bat to come.
Lipsy, a guy that, as we mentioned, seeing the ball a lot better, has that average all the way up to 241. Doesn't rely on hits, he relies on walks and hit by pitches as he watches a breaking ball just up for ball 3. So the count is full again with the bases loaded.
And no one out. You have to emphasize that because this opens up possibilities.
Full count delivery is flown out to left center field. Over to his left is Guerra. He reaches up, puts it away. Tagging on the play is John. He will pull in, giving a sacrifice fly to Trey Lipsy. And Hyannis is struck once again, their 4th run of the inning.
And a smart move there by Guerra to go to Camarillo in that situation now, because that doesn't allow Donay to tag up from second as well.
So Nick Mitchell, the lefty, stands in against the righty Rothermill. First pitch taken off the plate outside.
And great approach there from Lipsy in that at-bat. Even though he doesn't get the hit, he still gets the productive out with nobody out. That's why you like having nobody out there, to be able to score a run, even if it's an out.
1-0 misses low. Still only one out with runners at first and second. 2-0 to Nick Mitchell. Pitch on the way. A fastball catches the outer third of the plate. So called strike 1. Mitchell, 290 on the year. Has been one of those Hawks brought in and making an immediate impact, and he lays off a tough high fastball right at the letters, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, Mitchell deserves that all-star nod that he's got. I've mentioned it in quite a few games, how he has won and made that leadoff spot his own in every sense of the word.
3-1 on the way. In there, strike 2, called.
And Mitchell, that's so fortunate for Hyannis here to be able to play here at White House Field almost a week before, being able to come here, get the field, get the dimensions, especially for Mitchell, an outfielder, so that he can really show off his stuff during the All-Star game presented by Milton Cat.
3-2 on the way with one out, and that's popped up. Shallow left center field, 3 men converging on it, but it's going to be Guerra calling off everybody and puts it away for the second out. So a good response from Rothermill after not retiring
Center fielder from
the
Oklahoma
first
State,
6 hitters of the inning.
But now gets back-to-back outs, and this changes his approach. He just has to focus on Earhart, who's now the 9th hitter for the Harbor Hawks in the top of the 3rd.
Earhart stands in. The first pitch is a high pop-up deep into left field. Guerra ranges back a couple of steps, now short of the track, having to battle with that wind, making a couple of adjustments on the play. And he will put it away for the 3rd out of the inning. But Harbor Hawks strike for 4. They're up 5-0, heading into the bottom of the 3rd on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
The Harbor Hawks score 4 runs on 5 hits and leave 2 in the top of the third to take a 5-0 lead over Harwich. And now it'll be up to Mason Nichols to try and shut them down and protect this lead.
And he's got a lot to work with here, so he can have a little bit of fun if he wants to. Maybe test some stuff out, new sequences, maybe get a new pitch in on the first pitch as opposed to having to stick to what he normally knows. That's why you like getting your pitcher out in front, to be able to work, have a little bit of fun, and with that new fun, he could find something new and maybe even dominate in a way he didn't know he could before.
Yeah, you open up a slew of opportunities, and there's nothing like pitching with a lead. And a lead that's of 5 runs, that makes it 10 times easier, especially in how you're able to attack and be able to work around counts. Like you said, is Nichols, that's what you want to have. You want to have the confidence. You have the strutting of the stuff, knowing that you've got 5 runs already pocketed and that you are able to work some stuff around and try and work a little bit more of a finer placement to show off here because you're not worried about losing up.
It also allows for a little bit of margin of error, too. With that new kind of stuff could come something that he doesn't like. He misses a pitch or something, and it's not as big of a punishment as if it's just a 1-run game or even still a scoreless game.
So Andrew Yu will stand in for his first at-bat of the day. Hyannis has already batted through the lineup twice. Harwich hasn't gotten through it once. The first pitch misses low for a ball.
Nichols going down low a little bit in that zone, trying to elicit a swing on the breaking ball low on you.
First pitch is popped foul, and the count even at 1-1.
Great attack in that spot by Nichols to work off the plate a little bit to have you extend off to go swing.
1-1 the count to you. Nichols, that one's knuckled to the left side. Great stab by Hainline. Pirouettes, throw to first, and it's just off the line of York, who stretched out full extension to try and get that one on a hard line drive to the right side of the infield. Hainline was covering a lot of ground to stab it, did a 360, and just couldn't put it on the money to York.
And it was on that spin that it kind of pulled York just away from the bag, and he couldn't quite squeeze it. But that's such a good play to keep that in the infield by Hainline. So much range coming over to that glove side.
That shows you why he's an all-star right there.
Soft contact to the right side of the infield. Sets up a double play ball. And Daniel Rivera. That one misses low.
Rule it a single in U's favor there, so no error awarded to the defense.
1-0 the count. Rivera fouls one straight back.
Fouling it back, Nichols got to be careful.
Rivera out of Kansas State. He's transferring in from Southern New Hampshire. Named to the All-Conference defensive team last year, and there's a line drive up the middle and a base hit. So that is a good piece of hitting to send that one into center field, right back where it came from. On the play, you will hold at second. And the Mariners have something brewing in the bottom of the third with 2 on and no out.
And this is what we were just talking about, Jacob. Now you can settle down a little bit, allow yourself the error. You, of course, don't want it, but if there is a run to score here, it's not the biggest deal because you have a 5-run lead to your name, but it'll be important for Nichols. He knows that he wants to keep this shutout to his name, so time for him to bear down.
Seaver King stands in. First pitch to him, misses upstairs. Went to a fastball.
Yeah, time to bear down against a really tough part of the lineup, too. Seaver King playing third base for Wake Forest this year, the #1 team in the nation for quite some time leading up to the Super Regionals.
1-0, swing and a miss. Tardy on a fastball. 1-1.
What a great fastball there that had King fooled the entire way.
Nichols can pump up that velocity when he wants to. Guy that went to Team USA. 1-1. It's a slap the opposite way and into right field. Lipsy fields it on a hop. But you at second had to make sure that one was going to get down and froze on the line drive and will be held at third. So the bases are loaded with still nobody out.
Mariners trying to work up their own third inning here and try and respond for the 4 runs that the Hawks were able to work across.
Yeah, sensing a bit of deja vu here, and now you can pitch either way, but contact here could be huge as you can get it out at any base.
Ethan Anderson stands in and taps that one towards the Hyannis dugout and foul. The first 3 hitters in each of this team's third inning are a combined 6 for 6. Everybody has a single. Each team led off with 3 straight singles here in the third. Anderson stays back on an off-speed pitch, but still gets out in front of it and lifts it foul down the right field line.
Now Nichols is ahead 0-2, opening the possibilities here.
Just make sure you don't let one get to the backstop. Perhaps a high fastball here. 0-2. It's a jam shot to center. Racing in is Earhart, and it will be caught. Hainline going out. As Earhart and Hainline and Gazdar were all converging on it, and Hainline, the second baseman, showed the most range there to get there. And there's one away, and that is a big unproductive out number 1.
Huge unproductive out right there. Now, with Nichols throwing, he's got the soft contact. He knows what he can do with this because he is a contact guy. He can use that to his advantage here. He can go for that ground ball, and because of the bases being loaded, there's a force at any base here. So anybody who gets a ground ball can field and throw to any base they want to try and turn to.
Infield is still back against Kalen Culpepper. First pitch misses upstairs. Culpepper struck out in the first.
And now in this opportunity, Nichols can get it grounded into a double play and end.
1-0, swing and a miss, late on a fastball.
And when you have that double play opportunity, and you've already seen it between Hainline and Gazdar today, they showed great connection. They weren't able to beat out the speed of Camarillo.
Count even at 1. Culpepper, the 3rd player in Kansas State program history to be invited to Team USA. As that misses high, it's 2-1, another fastball. A lot of the Cape talent gets poached by Team USA. Some guys will go off, play with them for a little bit. Two-1 to the designated hitter. Fouled straight back.
And we see who really wants to get their reps in guys like Culpepper and Nichols and J.J. Weatherhold, who we saw at Chatham. When they get finished up with Team USA, they come straight back here, almost no break. I mean, you can see it in their eyes that they love this game and just want to keep getting as many reps in as they can.
It didn't even occur to me that Nichols also went to Team USA.
Yeah.
2-2, slap to the right field, and it is foul. It was a jam shot, inside-out approach that sliced just to the right of that right field line, and the count is still 2-2 with 1 out and the bases loaded. Hyannis up 5-0, but Harwich has a chance to cut that down.
Look for a high fastball here. That's been what Nichols has gone to in these counts.
2-2 is a breaking ball down and away, and it's poked into center field. Earhart racing to his left, puts it away, fires it in towards third base, where 2 runners will tag up. You will tag from third and score, and Rivera will tag from second and move to third, but no advancement from King. So the score is now 5-1.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there from Culpepper in that spot. Getting it to Earhart, and Earhart, instead of going for the runner at home, looks to go to the runner at third, but Rivera's got a great hop on it as he stayed right back to the bag. As soon as he saw it was in the air, he retreated back to get a solid jump because Earhart's arm normally is a cannon and did get there relatively at the same time.
Mason Guerra stands in. He singled in the second and takes a fastball inner third of the plate for strike 1.
And that's a big out now because there are 2 out here and a fly ball doesn't score a run. So if that's the best that you can do here, that's really good work, allowing only 1 run to cross, knock on wood.
Oh and 1. Guerra takes low. Runner goes towards second. No throw from Mitchell. Or excuse me, from Parker. So King steals second. And they're second and third with 2 outs in an 1-1 count.
Parker, they're double clutching a little bit to see if he wanted to throw down, just even see if he could position a stop of King, but King was going all the way.
Infield shifted slightly left, and there's a high fly ball to left. Ranging in and to his left is Mitchell, and he puts it away for out number 3. Harwich gets 1 back, but it could have been a whole heck of a lot worse for Hyannis. They still lead 5-1 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Stay up to.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-all, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Hyannis leads 5-1, and a new pitcher comes in for Harwich. It's Blake Purnell.
Blake Purnell hasn't appeared so far this year for Harwich, a new addition later on down the road for the team in this spot, so they are able to get a new arm from Florida who comes in juiced and ready to go after a deep College World Series run.
Yeah, it was 1 win away from winning the national championship, but of course LSU, the Bats came through in that final game in what was a extremely entertaining couple of weeks in Omaha.
Yeah, and he even pitched in that College World Series against LSU, a scoreless 1 2/3 of work. And this is one of those guys that we were just talking about, just like Guerra and just like Nichols. Beg your pardon, not Guerra, it was Culpepper. He comes straight from the college season, barely taking any breath to rest, comes straight up here and just gets right back into it. And that's what you like to see if you're Purnell. You've kept yourself warm here. So there isn't really much of a concern like guys had at the end of the college season who didn't make it to the College World Series. No off time, no grace period. He comes in hot and ready to go.
And this is his second summer here, so yeah, even after a little bit of long time away, and he knew what he was getting into by coming to White House Field. He played here for Harwich last year, playing in 9 games and tossed 12 1/3. So even more that when you come in a little late, you already know what to expect. There's a less of that adjustment period being a Cape League guy for the second time.
And that's another thing that always comes to mind is that guys who come out here want to come back. It's such a great league that where you can test your skills with a wood bat against the best talent in the country. And Cam Smith leads off the fourth just like he did in the third, and he takes a pitch inside. He led that inning off with a single and later came around to score one of Hyannis' 4 runs in that frame. He's 2 for 2 with a single and a triple. 1-0 is knuckled to the right side and foul into the netting. Guerra comes in with almost a sidearm delivery. Is very tough on righties. High stirrups as well. 1-1 is hit high and shallow to right field. Sauke ranges in a couple of steps, reaches up, and makes the play for out number 1. And finally, they've gotten Cam Smith out.
I love the stirrups personally. We've seen them all around the league, and with these cream color jerseys that Harwich sports to go along with those, the stirrups they're high, they've got red stripes going across the top of them. It really caps off the look of these jerseys.
Now, of course I'm partial to Hyannis as Zach York stands in and takes a ball low. Of course I'm partial to Hyannis and the pinstripes and the orange uniforms that they just debuted and the blue road uniforms, but Harwich has some of the better uniforms in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got the cream and the white and blue. Really solid aesthetic.
York takes a fastball at the knees. Of course, Hyannis wearing their blue roads with orange numbers and white trim, gray pants. Harwich, those cream uniforms with the blue lettering and red trim as York takes outside ball 2.
Yeah, producer Nico Sharp and his Texas Rangers came out with a nice cream color City Connect jersey. So any City Connect or any cream color jersey is going to catch the attention of producer Nico Sharp.
2-1 is pulled on the ground to the right side. Up with it is the first baseman Anderson, who bobbles it, drops it on the ground, picks it up again with his glove, and in one motion shovels it to the pitcher covering Purnell for a very nice out number 2. Good recovery.
Yeah, great little bit of improvisation there, as it seemed like he was a little bit handcuffed, was Anderson, on that play, and he recovered really nicely. You have to be really composed in that situation to know, to have the presence of mind after you've just bobbled it, to give a little glove shovel there. Really nice play from Anderson at first.
Especially Anderson not speeding up all that much, understanding he had the tempo he needed.
First pitch to Hainline is fouled straight back. Yeah, in one motion, just picked it up off the ground with a glove and wasn't even facing in that direction. Just kind of knew where his pitcher was. That pitch brushes Elijah off the plate, leans back, an off-speed pitch, and it's 1-1.
Got the solid glove scoop if you're able to get it up and over. Anderson showing off that athleticism.
Hainline takes at the knees, called strike 2. Another guy that Harwich has yet to retire. A walk and a single to this point. Up until this inning, each of the heart of the order for Hyannis had not been retired. And there's a line drive into left center field. Ranging in is Obi, and he slides to make a great catch. A foot-first slide by Devin Obi, the center fielder, puts away Hyannis 1-2-3. So we head to the bottom of the fourth. Harbor Hawks up 5-1 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle. Up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust.
Hi. Oh, this is amazing.
Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Five to 1 Harbor Hawks over Harwich right now at White House Field, home of the All-Star game. And Hyannis has some All-Stars in their lineup today. It's Cam Smith named to the All-Star team. But in addition to that, Trey Lipsy, Nick Mitchell, Elijah Hainline, Ethan Lanthier, the regular reliever for them, and Jamie Arnold, all named to the Milton Cat All-Star game. They'll be playing here next Saturday in the All-Star game. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Going to be a lot of fun. And Cam Smith, a starter at third base for the West Division, as he has had a stellar.
Is that what
I think
the
you
Red
and me
Star?
just put that together at the same time right there.
Is that what the Red Star means?
That is what the Red Star means,
no
you two.
way.
Yes.
I didn't know what that meant either.
That's so obvious. I can't believe I didn't get that. Bottom of the fourth, and Obi stands in and pulls one down the third base line.
So Cameron Hill, the starting pitcher, was in red. I think you could have figured it out. And then there was only one of each position as well. If you did the math, there's only 9.
No, it makes sense now. I just thought that they misordered the colored of the stars. As
I don't know.
Nichols pulls the string and delivers a curveball in, and a swing and a miss to Obi for strike 2. I don't think I'm allowed to be a broadcaster anymore. I don't have basic critical thinking skills. 0-2 is a fastball that skips in 1 and 2.
I didn't realize I needed my Notre Dame education on that one. I did not know that.
All right. Let's settle down.
Usually the Maryland education coming in the clutch. Clearly not much that time.
Not with the Red Stars.
Not with the
Michael,
Red Stars.
you and I go to public
school.
Whoa, I never said that. I never said that.
1-2 is a fastball that misses high.
Whoa. Let's ease up on this. Just saying.
Oh, we're saying you're the smart one out here.
It was just a Red Star. Who knew?
Yeah.
That really defies the intelligence.
2-2. A curveball that just missed off the plate. Excuse me, that looked like more like a slider movement going away off the plate.
But to get back on track here, all guys who have had really, really good seasons, they've been in the league all throughout the season. Nick Mitchell started the season with YD.
3-2 misses upstairs, so Obi draws the walk.
Now, and Mitchell has come in the last few weeks, and he's just completely tore it up, as well as Cam Smith. We talk about him every game. Even Elijah Hainline coming in a little bit later. He's made the middle infield his own. He's showing his versatility throughout the lineup as well. And then Trey Lipsy getting his numbers back up in just the right amount of time to be able to be named to the All-Star team as well.
Ali Camarillo stands in. A fielder's choice in the second. And throw over to first behind Obi, who dives back head first safely, and that was before the first pitch, so still no count. 5 runs on 6 hits and 1 error for Hyannis, 1 run on 4 hits and no errors for the Mariners. And another throw over behind Obi.
Something I failed to mention when we were talking about the 4-run lead for Nichols that we can get out of him. If he can get out of these innings quickly, it's longevity. And he can go one more inning if he can to try to get this win for himself, which is something we haven't seen. This is his longest start of the year already.
First pitch misses up and in with a fastball brushing Camarillo off the plate. Obi doing the cha-cha slide at first base.
And so far, it'll be 62 pitches. This next pitch will be his 67th from Nichols. So up there on a little bit of the pitch count. But if he can be able to settle in here, that would be huge.
Another throw over behind Obi.
A lot of these guys are on pitch counts being enforced by their schools. So you could see this may be his last inning of work depending on how many he gets here.
1-0 on the outer third of the plate. A perfect fastball, and it's 1-1. And how was that only the second pitch of the at-bat?
Nichols
thrown over 4 times now?
Yeah, Nichols likes Obi, and he wants to get that one. He feels like that walk he could get back in time with.
1-1. He sets at the belt, and timeout called. And it's a pitch clock violation, so it will move to 2-1. And that's having speed on the bases. That's what it does for you. It puts pressure on the pitcher, makes you start thinking about 5 or 6 different things. Obi with his lead from first. 2-1 is a perfect off-speed pitch that drops in there.
It almost doesn't even seem like Obi is that willing to go. He does have good speed over at first, but doesn't seem like he's got the biggest lead. Takes another extra step there, but clearly has Nichols' attention.
2-2 to Ali Camarillo. It's a pop-up behind home plate and will go out of play. So the count will stay 2-2. I believe that hit the table.
Yep, it did.
The admissions table here. Got to keep your head on a swivel no matter what part you are in this ballpark.
2-2, runner goes. It's a poke. He pokes it to Gazdar on the left side of the infield, the shortstop who comes charging in and delivers a throw on the run to first just in time to get Camarillo, who was sprinting up the line. On the play, Obi will move up to second.
Yeah, it's weak because it's getting eaten up by this taller grass despite the wet. It could be that there's too much water in on that grass from the rain earlier today. So it's getting eaten up, and you could maybe see John want to take a few steps in closer towards the grass if he doesn't have to be at double play depth to give himself a little bit more insurance.
Casey Sauke will stand in. First pitch is fouled back. The wind is blowing from right to left, so righties like Sauke will be helped out a little bit.
That wind's going directly into left field, coming from first base out over to right field, or left field, excuse me.
1 out, runner at second. The 0-1 is flown deep into center field. Earhart ranges back a couple of steps and puts it away shy of the warning track and quickly fires it in to hold the runner at second, Obi, and there's 2 away.
Obi was jumping on it there as he thought that was going to get down, and he was a decent ways away. Had to retreat back once he made the tag, but with Earhart's arm, he judged rather quickly that he didn't want to put himself in a position to lose a base runner.
And that's an efficient at-bat there from Nichols, too, because now he gets that second out faster and maybe can go himself, if he gets this third out here, maybe get himself into the fifth a little bit as well.
69th pitch, now 70th pitch of his day.
Andrew Yu stands in and fouls another one back, so it's 0-1.
Yeah, kids are getting their cardio in now, those who are here. Seen quite a few foul balls within the last 3 at-bats or so.
Yeah, the fencing down each line here is pretty tall. And there aren't as many foul balls that go into play here or not out of play here as there are at other ballparks, as a fastball is delivered in from Nichols on the outer third of the plate. Called strike 2, and he's ahead 0-2, just a strike away from getting out of the bottom of the fourth. Obi at second. Pitch swung on and missed. Nichols gets him with an off-speed pitch low, and that will end the inning. Nichols escapes the runner at second situation, and Hyannis will grab the bats for the top of the fifth. They lead 5-1 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. Seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it. Did it better and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Those challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
John Gazdar stands in to lead off the top of the 5th, and he takes an off-speed pitch down and away, and the elements look like they're going to play a factor again in a Cape Cod League baseball game. A 60% chance of rain at 7 o'clock. Gazdar will show bunt, and in trying to pull back, he gets a piece of it, and it goes down the third baseline foul. So 5 innings. Again, we've talked about this way too much this year. 5 innings completed is the mark that you need to reach in order to deem a game completed. So we are 6 outs away from getting to that point. Gazdar fouls one straight back, and it's 1-2.
And if both teams just try and work out of this, especially after the last inning from Purnell that went 1-2-3, just got to keep playing until the rain isn't here, but you have to be wary of every chance you're in.
Gazdar grounds one to the left side. Up with it is King. He throws across the infield in time to retire John.
Every chance you are in the box, you have to take advantage of the opportunities to get runs due to the fact you don't know if you're going to come back up to be able to bat back around.
So here's Brody Donay. Donay had that 2 RBI double in the 3rd and then popped out on the infield in the 2nd.
Already have.
He swings and misses at the first pitch.
Already did have a postponement today. Wareham taking on Bourne got postponed to July 24th.
You beat me by a second. Swing and a miss from Donay.
Sorry for my poor tab situation there, Mick.
I can't figure this out.
I've got quite a few tabs open on my computer. I like having a few open. I thought I had one of these up. I guess I clicked off of it.
Donay about to see an 0-2, and he reaches for one and taps it to the right side of the infield. Anderson up with it, and a nice flip onto the covering pitcher, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, Purnell doing a great job to get over there in time. Especially talk about it. Pitchers being able to come off the bump in enough time to be over in time to Anderson, and does a great job. Purnell does to allow Anderson, who's shown great glove work today, the opportunity to get the out and already get the second out here in the top of the 5th.
So Aaron Parker stands in, and first pitch is in there for a strike.
We're starting to see Tom Shemileski from Princeton up and moving in their bullpen.
0-1 to Parker, taken for strike 2. Parker has not had an official at-bat today. He's walked twice. Trey Lipsy could be next if Parker were to reach. You're in a 5-1 game, and Parker takes off the plate outside. Parker out of UC Santa Barbara. Has family ties to Palo Alto, California, just outside of Stanford. 1-2 is popped foul behind the plate.
Where is Santa Barbara in relation to you?
Southern California.
I was going to
like
say,
6 hours.
that's SoCal,
Yeah.
not NorCal.
That I didn't know.
Not NorCal.
So it's not. So it's not close.
Not NoCal either.
It's not. So no, it's not close to you at all. Okay.
1-2 to Parker, chopped foul right at the Harwich dugout.
I like that I'm getting my California
There you
knowledge
go.
down a little
Yeah.
bit. I like it.
Secondhand.
Yeah.
A little bit more geography in your
I
pocket
love
for
it.
you.
I'm a big geography guy too.
Now, the University of Santa Barbara, as Parker knuckles one foul down the first baseline, is in a town that's commonly referred to as IV. Now, I've only heard it referred to as IV. I have no idea what it's actually called.
Oh.
It's just outside of Santa Barbara.
You got the internet.
The actual.
Spell that for me. Is it just the letters?
Just IV. What town is Santa Barbara? UC Santa Barbara in 1-2, taken down and away with a breaking ball.
Parker showing great discipline in the box, not trying to go chase, even though he's in a 1-2 count and you want to protect.
2-2. That one's down the third baseline and just foul by maybe an inch or two. And someone came off the bullpen and made a nice backhand play to collect that one in.
Got to stay active, especially with a little bit more of the Wrigley-style bullpens here that are down the outfield lines, respectively, for either team, with Harwich in the third base dugout.
Another 2-2 is rocketed out towards center field, giving Chase's Obi back towards the 400 sign. He looks up, and it is caught. Obi made a great over-the-shoulder catch just shy of the wall to put it away, and that is the third out of the inning. So Hyannis held quiet in the top of the fifth, but allowed out number 3 to Parker, retires the side. So 5-1 Harbor Hawks on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de bateo, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
Hyannis and Harwich, 5-1 our score. Darren Horn enters the game as he joined our broadcast just yesterday along with Jamie Arnold. He's out of Coastal Carolina, standing at 6'5", looks to shut down the Mariners here. He'll face Rivera, King, and Anderson. Big, tall, right-handed pitcher.
Horn from Coastal Carolina has fabulous RPM. It's what makes him so special on the bump. And he was in the broadcast booth yesterday with Jamie Arnold, speaking about how he had a good bullpen session yesterday to get him set for an appearance coming down the road. And he didn't divulge that his appearance would be today.
Yeah.
That we got him pregame before yesterday, talked to him pregame about making sure he was good. Said, hold on, I got to throw my bullpen. Threw his bullpen, came up to the broadcast booth, felt confident in himself, felt like he had a strong arm ready to rock and roll. So he's here and ready.
Yeah, we last saw him on the 12th against YD. He started that game.
As the first pitch to Rivera misses, it's 1-0.
And he gave up 2 runs over 4 innings, so that's a solid outing here on Cape Cod. Before that, he had come in high leverage situations.
Pitch is in there for a strike. There's that slider that has above 3,300 RPM. 1-1, misses down and away.
And in those 3 appearances before this one, he hadn't let up a run in 1, 2, and 1 innings of work, respectively.
That one's tapped foul off his foot. So it's 2-2, a painful second strike.
And sometimes that RPM can almost hurt Horn because it's got so much spin that it could almost disappear out of the strike zone, where other guys with a little less RPM can just keep it in the zone.
Yeah, and it'll just dive out of the zone. It'll appear like it's coming in, then just dive out. And that one's tapped up the middle. Hainline fields the slow roller on 3 or 4 hops and fires to York at first for out number 1. And maybe that something that gets missed on that play is Horn stuck his glove out to try and field it, then realized
the third baseman
any kind of contact that he'd make with that ball, it would just be detrimental to Hainline behind him trying to make the play. So he did something that not a lot of pitchers do and just bring that glove back, don't touch it, let Hainline handle the ball. Yeah. So here comes King, and he takes a strike.
Yeah, and he had enough time to do it, and sometimes less is more when you're a pitcher out there. Don't want to get too in the way because you knock that down, comes off your glove, and it's out of your reach, and maybe that allows the runner to reach base.
0-1 misses down and away with a slider. Hyannis up 5-1 with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Another slider misses down and away. He checked his swing. Yes, he did, says the first base umpire, and it's 2-1.
Cloud's starting to darken.
Yeah.
Wind's starting to swirl here as well.
2-1 tapped foul.
That 60% chance in my book is starting to tick up here a little bit.
And we're 2 outs away from a technically completed game. So, guys, let's get on the side of Darren Horn here. 2-2 is a check swing at a slider that just dove out of the zone, and yes, he did go around. So King down on strikes.
Horn comes in. 2 quick outs here.
Oh, boy.
The first baseman from Virginia, number 23.
These conditions do not
Anderson.
feel good right now.
Radar, though, like we talked about, can't really tell you the whole story. It does appear that it will stay off with the big batch of rain coming in closer to 7:30, so if it can be able to tick away.
Ethan Anderson taps the first pitch off the plate.
He's got right now as it's just past 6:30 here on the East Coast. He's got about an hour before rain starts really becoming front of mind for both teams.
0-1. Out of the windup, Horn delivers, and that's just outside with a fastball. One taken in there for strike 2, called Mason Nichols' line on the day is closed. He goes 4 innings, gives up 4 hits, 1 earned, as the 1-2 is fouled off to the left. That 1 run with 1 walk and 4 strikeouts, a very quality start out of the Ole Miss right-hander. 2-1 to Ethan Anderson, who fouls another one off.
Very quality start from Mason Nichols, and we've talked about sometimes the walks have started to pile up for him at times, but does a great job of holding it together.
Only 1 walk today.
That's the huge thing about that start.
1-2 is swung on and missed. Another off-speed pitch down and in. Retires Anderson's second strikeout of the inning for Darren Horn. And a quick one. 1-2-3 goes Harwich. Hyannis is up 5-1. We head to the 6th on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the cloud.
Who are you in a club with?
To the top of the 6th we go. Trey Lipsy to lead it off, the 9-hole hitter for the Harbor Hawks.
Lipsy, a guy that is so special in the 9-hole because it's a second leadoff with his ability to get on base as well as the opportunity with him hitting so strong over the last couple of games.
And he'll take a strike on the inner third of the plate. Hyannis very quietly has had all 8 of their last hitters go down. 0-1, swing and a miss.
Yeah, credit to Purnell for that as well. He's come in and looked really good. But as we were just talking about, Lipsy hitting over 400 over his last 10 games. We talked about getting hot at the right time, right before the All-Star selections. He's earned that selection.
0-2, Lipsy taps it foul.
Again, that's mine right there with the glove hand.
And the Harbor Hawks ball boy right in front of us will beat the Harwich ball boy.
Little box out. Textbook basketball right there. Turn on it.
I heard the two helmets clink together a little bit, too. It's a
physicality out here now.
0-2 misses high.
Helmet to helmet, man.
To helmet.
No targeting,
Personal.
though. No one led with the crest. No one led with the crest.
1-2 to Lipsy. Tapped foul.
Let's see how many we can do. He didn't, not led with the crest. The crown was not down.
No horse collar there either.
No horse collar.
0-2 here to Lipsy in a big spot.
1-2. Low for ball 2.
Now a 2-2 to Lipsy here. Comes back out with Purnell out for another inning of work, who's been dominant since coming in relief.
And that hits Lipsy right on the calf. And he seems frustrated at that one. And he will take first base. His second hit by pitch of the game. And now number 46? 46.
A little jump in the gun. It's 45.
No, that's their third hit by pitch of the game.
Oh, my gosh, yes. 46, excuse me.
Trying to find it.
It was Nick Mitchell.
Mitchell,
yep.
yes.
I was finding. Now, Lipsy has 11 on the year. Sacrificing, we talked about it, second leadoff guy able to get on again, and he's able to get on, but refuses athletic training staff.
And part of why he's hitting so well in his last 10 games, he doesn't have many at-bats to his name. And when he does finally get those at-bats, he's taking advantage and putting them into the field. So, yeah, he may not be having as many at-bats, but when he does, he takes advantage either way. On-base machine is Trey Lipsy.
So righty on lefty here for Mitchell, and he takes a strike. Getting his lead from first is Lipsy. Again, he got hit like square in the calf, but it looked like it was right on the muscle. He did exactly what you're supposed to do, turn away from it. 0-1 on the way. Missed outside. Mitchell, again, made one of the throws of the year in the Cape Cod Baseball League last night in the 10th inning, the top of the 10th against Bourne. It was a big reason why Hyannis was able to walk off that game. The 1-1 misses down and away.
They have Lipsy in that 9 spot, sporting a .427 on-base percentage coming into the game. He's really acting as that second leadoff hitter for another on-base machine in Nick Mitchell, who's up above around 400 himself.
2-1 drops in there for a strike. That was a fastball at the knees.
And then putting those two guys back-to-back with Earhart Smith and York coming up right after spells only good things, as they are contact and base hit machines.
Lipsy gets his lead from first. 2-2 to Mitchell, and that's flown to right at Sauki, who barely had to move for that, and puts it away for the first out.
Yeah, Sauki didn't even need to jump on it. He watched that thing off the bat right into his glove, took a step back. Those are the balls outfielders like. Little movement doesn't require that much effort out there.
That was a solid contact. Mitchell found the barrel there, but the exit velocity was just a little bit low. Excuse me, the launch angle was a little bit low as Earhart will stand in, show bunt, pull back, and take an off-speed pitch for a strike. 5-1 Harbor Hawks. They've scored those 5 runs on 6 hits. Earhart gets brushed back by a fastball, and it's 1-1. Meanwhile, the Mariners, 1 run on 4 hits. They have left 4 runners on. 1-1. Earhart, a little bit of an inside-out shot to right. In comes Sauki, but out goes Rivera, who drops the ball, but Lipsy was expecting Rivera to make the play, so he was retreating back to first, but Rivera was able to pick it up and get the force out at second, so a fielder's choice.
The third baseman from
And there in that situation,
13,
nothing happened in that. You pretty much break even in that spot because you were expecting an out anyways. It just doesn't come with the batter you thought it was going to come at. And that spot is you send Lipsy back, but you still have a runner at first.
And the inning is extended to include Cam Smith, who takes a fastball outer third at the knees for strike 1.
Either way you cut it, now you have to go through Cam Smith, the hottest batter we've talked about so far for the Harbor Hawks this season.
0-1 count to him, and he breaks his back on a knuckler into the Hyannis dugout. It was a soft line drive, and he's going to exchange his bat for a new one with Elijah Hainline. Get some Tyne Tar on that.
As Purnell's going to take a couple steps away from the bump as well to take an opportunity to, when you don't have that many rubber disengagements anymore with the pitch clock. So with Cam Smith having to go get a new bat in the dugout, that allows for him to get a composed self for a hot second, settle back in to try and attack Mitchell.
0-2 to Cam Smith. Misses low. He never even was enticed at that one, barely even moved after it. A fastball down and in that had to be blocked by Yu.
Yu's done a great job behind the plate today for the Mariners. He's keeping balls in front of him.
That's grounded up the middle, and diving stop by Camarillo, and it trickles into center field, and heads up base running by Zach Earhart, made a turn around second, was able to pull into third base. Cam Smith hit that one right on the screws and gets a base hit out of it.
Gets a solid base hit. Now you bring up Zach York, who's been able to drive in runs like no tomorrow for this Harbor Hawks team.
And he's facing a righty.
I love that aggressiveness, though, from Earhart because he knows that's pushed away far enough from the shortstop and the center fielder. He's got a head full of steam, didn't even hesitate, just rounding second straight to third.
Runners at the corners for York with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. And he watches the fastball run outside for ball 1. Infield is shifted slightly to the right. Camarillo, the shortstop, a couple of steps towards the second base bag. And the 0-1 misses, or excuse me, the 1-0 misses low. So count leverage for York, the hero last night, who lined a ball down the right field line in the bottom of the 10th inning to score Cam Smith, allowing Hyannis to walk off Bourne and take sole possession of second place. There's a high pop-up, shallow left field. Guerra ranging in, Camarillo ranging out, and calling everybody off is Obi to put it away for out number 3. Hyannis threatens again with 2 outs in the inning. They still lead 5-1. And for more, let's check in with the fourth member of our crew, Bria Losick.
Thank you so much, Mickey. It's always great to be on. Yesterday was a big day for Brody Donay, announcing his commitment to the University of Florida, and of course everyone on the Harbor Hawks was very excited for him, but especially Coach Eric Luxus. He's currently coaching a high school team out in Tampa, so he's in Florida, and he said, you know what, Brody, I might just have to make the trip down to Gainesville a little bit more, and I asked him more about it, like who do you think you're going to go watch mostly in the Florida area? You got Cam Smith, Jamie Arnold, all of them, and he said, all of these guys are just great role models for my son Easton, so we'll get around the state after this season when everyone's back, so there you go. Easton and Eric are going to be making a big trip around the state of Florida.
Thank you, Bria. A lot of Harbor Hawks feel like they're centered in Florida.
That's a lot going to the coaching staff. That's a lot of them have gone to the University of Tampa. We're participating in the broadcast or on the coaching staff in there, and it seems like there's a little bit of a pipeline going through the state of Florida all the way up here to Hyannis.
Yeah, Bria's still with us here. Don't worry, she can't get out that quickly. When you talk about that, is both coaches from the Tampa area. How's that connection? Will maybe Coach Beatty be on those road trips as well, maybe tagging along?
Oh, 100%. Beatty coaching Strawberry Crest out of Tampa as well.
Culpepper stands in to lead off the inning. Do they still keep in contact with guys maybe from previous years that are still playing in Florida as the first pitch misses low?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's one of the beauties of summer ball is not only coaches go around and watch their past players, but host parents as well keep in touch. I know different host parents that have went on vacation just to go to certain places that their past players are playing at.
1-0 misses down and away with a slider.
And we talk about that lasting impact between the host families and their kids that they're able to host, just showing it right there.
2-0 drops in there for a strike with a fastball.
Yeah, and I just want to give a quick shout out to my host parents. We love Julie and JR, so always great supporters of the Harbor Hawks.
2-1. Drops in with another slider for strike 2. Are you living with the same host family as you did last year, or?
No, I'm not. They graciously welcomed me into their home this year, so it was great to meet them.
2-2 is poked up the middle. Gazdar to his left. Slick fielding, throws to first. In time, he had to cover a lot of ground and hurry that one up to get there for out number 1.
Yeah, great play by Gazdar in that situation. Comes up with it, firing in time to get over to York. Talk about big outs and quick outs are huge to try and elongate Horn's outing because he is such a dominant pitcher. The longer you can keep him in this game is the better off Hyannis will be.
And that's why it's so great to have a big bullpen because we haven't seen Horn for a few days.
Guerra stands in and takes a strike.
And now he's nice and well rested, getting efficient outs and extending his outing, saving more arms down in that bullpen for other days will be huge.
0-1 skips in, down and away, ball 1.
We talk about the architecture that coaching staffs need to use to be able to manufacture their pitching schedule and their pitching calendar. When you have a guy who goes that, surprisingly, it's always a big outing.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
And it starts all the way from the front. Mason Nichols given a really solid 4 innings, and now Darren Horn is given a few, now 2 or 3 innings of his own.
1-2 misses down and away with a slider. It's 2-2. 5-1 Harbor Hawks. Bottom of the 6th inning. Another slider misses down and away. It's 3-2. He went to the same pitch twice in a row.
This time seeing if Guerrero would go chase. He stays firm in his spot.
Full count delivery to Guerra. It's a check swing on the outer third, but it doesn't matter because it's called strike 3, another slider. And Horn picks up his 3rd strikeout.
That's a pitch Horn wanted. He shook off a couple calls from the situation of Parker behind home plate. Does a great job of finding the pitch that he wants. And when you shake off a couple pitches, then get the strikeout, you knew what you were able to throw well.
Obi stands in and hits a high fly ball to right. Trey Lipsy goes out, now comes in and puts it away for the third out of the inning. So Horn has come in and thrown 2 perfect innings. We head to the 7th inning of this one. It's 5-1 Hyannis on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark. Break the mold. Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place. Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Welcome back to White House Field, where the wait is almost over. Floor & Decor is coming to Hyannis on September 7th. Get ready for unbelievable everyday low prices on tile, wood, stone, laminate, vinyl, installation materials, and more. Our high-quality selection can't be beat, so mark your calendars for September 7th for Floor & Decor's grand opening in Hyannis. At Floor & Decor, you'll discover thousands of in-stock products at a price you'll love. We promise you've never experienced anything like it before, but now you can, as in stands Elijah Hainline, and he flies that one deep to center field. Obi ranges back. He's at the track. He's at the wall. He reaches up and makes the play as just before he slams into the wall. That's the second very nice play he has made in a row. But come and explore Floor & Decor opening in Hyannis on September 7th.
What a range from Devin Obi in center field. There is not a ball that goes to center field that you're questioning whether he'll make the grab. He is there continuously providing extreme speed and extreme range to get balls.
Extreme range for Mickey Doolittle running through our Floor & Decor ad read.
Speaking of guys that can run fast, John Gazdar into the plate. Takes a ball low.
Yeah, back to Obi. He's an all-star himself for a reason, showing off what he can do out with the glove in center field.
Hyannis with a 4-run advantage as the 1-0 brushes Gazdar back. Donay to follow, and then Parker would be next. Top of the 7th here in a 5-1 ball game. Hyannis getting all 5 of their runs in the first 3 innings. As that misses down and away. Harwich also scoring their run in the 3rd, so we have not had a run since the 3rd.
Hyannis threatened in the top of the 6th, but didn't have anything come of it.
Gazdar watches a fastball called strike 1.
They left 2 on with Earhart all the way at 3rd and Smith at 1st.
3-1. Gazdar pops one up. Right side, Yu out from his crouch and puts it away for out number 2.
Great communication from Yu there to call off Purnell, who came in charging off the bunt to try and make a PFB, but Yu calling him off, saying he had it, and makes the play.
Yeah, those are interesting. Pitchers want those pop-ups sometimes. They want the P1s, but it's probably better that fielders do end up getting it as Donay stands in and takes an off-speed pitch down and away for ball 1. Infield slightly shifted to the left. He's got a sizable hole to the left of the shortstop Camarillo as he pops that one up. A knuckler behind home plate, and it will scare me to my core as it pops just below our canopy and lands right in front of us.
Got to stay sharp at all angles.
We completely lost sight of it as our canopy covers much of the air in front of us, but popped about 3 feet in front of me. But nevertheless, it's 1-1. Donay breaks his bat on a fly ball to center field. Obi ranges over, but calling him off is Sauki to put away the third out of the inning. So another 1-2-3 inning in this one. We're going to stretch here from White House Field. It's 5-1 Hyannis on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
Be a bad mother.
5-1 Harbor Hawks from White House Field, but this is not the only game going on Cape right now. Jacob Irons, take us around the league.
While the Elements may be pushing Bourne and Wareham to the 24th, we've got 2 other games that are live right now and one in the pregame with Brewster and Chatham waiting for first pitch to be thrown. But in the bottom of the 8th, YD and the Red Sox are overtaking Falmouth 6-4 currently at Red Wilson Field. And then in the top of the 3rd, Catuit leading Orleans 2-0. That's your out-of-town scoreboard tonight.
There's been a postponement, though, too, right?
Yes, there was a postponement of Wareham and Bourne, but small docket tonight.
So that means Hyannis has a chance to take a 6-point lead over Bourne.
Yeah, and you just said going back to Falmouth between innings just now, Falmouth haven't been doing a lot of losing. So a big result for YD snapping, if the result holds, snapping out of a 3-game losing streak and keeping Falmouth grounded to that 4th spot.
Unfortunately, Catuit hasn't been doing a lot of losing either. They've won 8 in a row, and it looks like if that score holds, it'll be 9 after today.
That is just so impressive.
That is the longest win streak of the year as Camarillo stands in and takes a strikeout or third of the plate. Catuit, after having all that roster turnover just a couple of weeks ago with the draft, 0-1 is hit high and deep to left field. Mitchell giving chase. He's at the track and it clears the fence. Home run for Ali Camarillo, and the lead is cut down to 3.
Camarillo got all of that one off the bat, jumped, and continued soaring over the left field wall. Horn just leaving one over the plate a little bit. Now moves the lead only to 3 in favor of the Harbor Hawks, and now talked about it for 3 straight innings. No run was scored between either team. Finally get a breakthrough.
Yeah, just took a fastball. He was definitely expecting one there and timed his swing perfectly, made solid contact. It looked like a low line drive, might have been a little bit short as Sauki stands in and takes a ball, but ultimately it had enough backspin and it stayed up long enough to sneak over that left field fence. 1-0 is a slider that catches the outer third of the zone, strike 1.
We've been seeing a lot of fastballs early in Horn's count, and Camarillo knew that one was coming, but it's because it's early in the count. He's got it out of the way. Now he works as if nothing even happened.
Sauki swings and misses at a perfect slider.
He's got the bottom 3 in the order here, so he can go about this, attack this just as a completely new inning, as if he didn't just have a solo home run hit off him.
Swing and a miss. He tied him up in knots as the slider just dove out of the zone away. And that is out number 1 and the 4th strikeout for Horn.
And there's your response right there. Way to come back strong from Darren Horn. After that solo home run, he makes Saki look silly there. And to be able to put him away with that kind of pitch, just unfair.
Again, Horn, his RPM, his spin rate is better than most on Cape right now, as in stands Andrew Yu, the catcher, and he takes a strike. 0-1 on the way. And he takes another one for a strike. Outer third of the plate that time off speed. Oh, 0-2 the count, and a swing and a miss, and that was another filthy slider.
What a great response here from Horn. After giving up the home run, comes back with 2 strikeouts. That's huge for not just your own mental headspace to understand that, hey, I still got it here, and we are by no means out of this, and that he doesn't even elicit a move from Luxus and the pitching staff inside the dugout.
So Rivera stands in and takes just outside.
We've been mentioning unfair at-bats. That's what Darren Horn has created over these last 2 with those slider finishing off those 2 put-away pitches.
That's popped foul back towards us. 1-1. 5-2 the score now. Camarillo homered to lead off the inning, but Horn quickly came back with 2 strikeouts and delivers one just outside, and it's 2-1 now. Hyannis scored 4 in the 3rd and 1 in the 1st. That's a high pop-up right side and foul, and the count evens at 2-2. Harwich had 1 in the 3rd and then now 1 in the 7th. They've played from behind most of this one. 2-2 is just outside, and that is a huge take from Rivera.
Great discipline take from Rivera. Horn wanted it, shakes off a couple pitches here.
Full count, here's the pitch, and it is in there, called strike 3. Darren Horn comes back with 3 nasty sliders to get Sauki, Yu, and Rivera. We head to the 8th. Hyannis still ahead, 5-2 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Welcome back here to White House Field. Hyannis up 5-2, but their offense hasn't done much in the previous couple of innings, being shut down. No runs in the last 4 innings since scoring 4 in the 4th.
And their offense looks to try and get back up and moving in this spot for the Harbor Hawks as they'll go up against a new pitcher in Matt Scannell, a 2-way guy out of the University of Princeton University, in San Antonio, Texas. This will be his 2nd appearance of the summer, where he went 1 inning at Katuitt, only giving up 1 hit and 1 run through 5 batters faced.
Yeah, we saw him in the last time they came here to White House Field. He played first base.
Aaron Parker stands in, and the righty on lefty matchup begins with a fastball missing inside.
Scannell went 0 for 3 with a walk in that game.
Missed again low, and it's 2-0. He misses again. Off-speed pitch, tried to get it on the inner third of the plate, but it dives out of the zone. And 3-0 now, working quickly out of the windup, and he fires a fastball in for strike one.
It's load and go for Scannell right now. That ball comes into his glove, sets, and he's already ready and firing.
I was wondering why the pace quickly picked up, and he throws another fastball that catches the inner third of the plate. Parker was on his way to first, but called strike two, and now a full count delivery. Tap foul.
And now you also have to be wary if you're Parker. That changes how you're pacing as well. You don't have a lot of time in the box to compose yourself compared to most pitchers.
And after that foul ball, exhale. You got a little bit of a break, but quickly 3-2 again, and Parker will draw the walk. A fastball missed down and in. So Hyannis has their leadoff man aboard.
That's how you can create offense like you were talking about, Mickey, and be in response of the one run that was scored previously in the last half inning is getting your leadoff man on with Parker on the walk. Now that opens up a possibility for Trey Lipsy to try and square as well if you want to try and get it back.
So here's Lipsy. He's been hit by 2 pitches here, and he ducks under an off-speed pitch that looked like it might have been heading straight for his head.
B.J. Johnson, bench coach, telling him we got ice if you need it.
First, the 1-0 catches the outer third of the plate for strike one. How much ice is too much ice?
Trey Lipsy, the perfect guy to ask.
Oh, my goodness. 1-1 is an off-speed pitch that he sits back on and rolls over to the right side. The shovel on to first from Anderson. He threw to second for 1 out. Camarillo, the feed back to first, is not in time. And Lipsy will reach on a fielder's choice.
That's a really tough play at first from Anderson because he's between hops right there. You've got that a little bit more leather on that first baseman glove for that reason, to be able to pick that. And then on top of that, he fires a strike down to Camarillo over at second base. Really nice play to get the force.
So in stands Nick Mitchell, and he takes outside for ball one. And in addition to that, you're dealing with the speed of Lipsy, so you need to hurry up that throw. Mitchell thus far 0 for 3, and guess what? He's been hit by a pitch as well. 1-0, taken low. Rain still staying away right now. 7:15 local time on the eastern seaboard, and there's a high pop-up. Shallow center. Obi's got to come racing in. He loses his hat and will finally get there, camp out under it, and make the one-handed catch for out number 2.
He makes every play to him look so easy. Obi, a stellar center fielder, especially with his speed and his range. But needless to say, his tracking is there as well.
Number 4, Zach Earhart.
So now it's Zach Earhart's turn with a runner at first and 2 away in the inning. Hyannis looking to extend their 3-run lead, getting one of those runs back that was lost on the Ali Camarillo home run in the previous inning. But before the first pitch to Earhart, a check over to Lipsy at first. He's back standing, and now we're set again. First pitch is swung on and missed. Lively fastball. Lefty on righty matchup. Earhart, the powerful right-handed hitter, has a couple of home runs this year. 0-1. Missed down and in. Good block from you.
Great block from you. And once again, he keeps his eyes over down the first base line to Lipsy, understanding that he might not know where the ball is, but he's keeping his eyes locked on him to try and not allow Lipsy to get a second thought about jumping.
1-1 to Earhart, misses low, skips in.
You picking stuff out of the dirt time and time again, especially against Scannell, where he doesn't have that much time to set up behind home plate.
Earhart wearing one batting glove. That right hand does not have one as he pops one up right side. Anderson racing into foul territory into our blind spot, and he does not get there. It's a foul ball. We apologize. The Hyannis dugout is blocking our view up the right field line, up the fence. We can see the foul pole just barely. So we're kind of just guessing at this point, judging off of players' reactions and umpires' reactions. But it's 2-2 to Zach Earhart. Here's the pitch. A off-speed pitch misses above the letters for ball 3.
Yeah, Blake Purnell's line is closed. 4 innings of nothing but just 1 hit. No runs, no walks, and no strikeouts.
The lighting darkens here at White House Field for the 3-2 as the darker and darker the clouds get here.
And because there's no lights here, because of their malfunctioning, it's a tough spot that as soon as it keeps getting darker, you have to play with light, with no light as well.
3-2 to Earhart is hit high to left. Medium deep, Guerra gets under it and reaches up with one hand. He barely had to move off to his left to make that play. So Hyannis will strand the runner at first in the 8th. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Hyannis up 5-2 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Five to 2 Harbor Hawks, and they bring in a new pitcher for the 8th inning.
Yeah, and it's Will Armistead. He's had a good start here on the Cape. He's out of Southern Mississippi. He is a JUCO transfer, pitched really, really well for Southern Miss this season to the tune of a 2.09 ERA. Started a quarter of his 16 appearances. 43 strikeouts to 16 walks on the season for Southern Miss, and he's come in and he's done just about the same. He's looked real good for Hyannis on the season so far. And he comes out, Darren Horn, with a really, really good relief outing. But Armistead, here are his stats on the season so far.
With a 4.50 ERA through 3 games he's appeared, has 1 decision in his favor already. Only has pitched 6 innings, but those have been high leverage situations where you look at, he pitched 4 innings in a start at Katuitt, didn't give up an earned run in that situation where he went 4 in relief of Hodges, who couldn't get the job done to start the day, comes in and then has been stellar in relief when necessary for Hyannis.
So leading off the inning for the Mariners is Seaver King, the leadoff hitter. A 1-for-3 day so far for him, and Armistead deals the first pitch, and it is in there for strike 1.
So Horn's day ends 3 innings, a run on 1 hit, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. The only hit he gave up was the solo home run to Camarillo.
0-1, down and away. Count even at 1-1.
So 2/3 of the guys he faced today, and the 2/3 of the outs that he got today were via the strikeout. Dominant stuff from Darren Horn today.
1-1 in there, strike 2. Once again, you're playing against the clock here. If you're Harwich, you not only want to score a lot of runs, but you want to score them fast as an off-speed pitch misses down and away. Sunset is at 8:12 tonight. And in addition to that, you have the added factor of it's supposed to start raining here any minute. As the 2-2 misses outside with a fastball off the plate.
Yeah, radar's showing that it's going to stay away a little closer to 8 o'clock, but 7:30 it gets to Barnstable, which means you could see spot-up showers anytime.
3-2 misses away, so Armistead walks his first hitter he sees.
Weatherman Grant McNew does give the confirmation as he's been monitoring the weather forecast and the radar due to our equipment out here. Don't want to lose anything due to rain in the forecast.
Ethan Anderson will stand in with a runner at first, and immediately Eric Luxus will make his way out to the mound to have a conversation with Will Armistead.
Haven't even needed to see one mound meet today, and it's come after the first batter the first one has here for Armistead. I wonder what they could be talking about.
Having a conversation with York involved as well, the first baseman tagging along, while Smith and the middle infielders stay back on the convo.
And this is a situation where if you're Hyannis, you're willing to trade outs for advancements or outs for runs, just anything to get closer to the 27-out mark.
This is also a conversation with York being pulled in about maybe you want to talk about picking off King over at first with his speed. You know he's going to be set in motion. He's the leadoff guy.
So Ethan Anderson stands in again. First pitch from Armistead is in there for strike one. So far on the day, the first baseman for Harwich is 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts and a pop out on the infield. King gets his lead from first, and that's fouled back. So quickly 0-2 on Anderson.
And now Anderson behind it in the count, 0-2 to Armistead. Really, if he can focus on Anderson here.
0-2 misses upstairs with the fastball. These are both second-place teams in the CCBL facing off tonight. 1-2 is foul-tipped into the glove of Parker, but he couldn't hang on, and it flips over his head. And now we got a race to the ball behind home plate, and it's going to be won by the Harwich bat boy. So I believe it's 1-1 now.
1-1 on highly contested ones, especially we're in a contested area between both.
1-2 misses outside.
Going back to what you were saying about the standings, all four of Catuit, Hyannis, Bourne, and Falmouth would be up above into second place, and even some into first.
2-2 is popped sky high to the left side. Going a long way for that is Smith as the entire bullpen vacates the bench and tries to get out of the way of Smith, who was running full sprint right towards them. And it falls foul behind that fence.
So Falmouth is sitting in fourth place in the West with 30 points. Harwich is sitting second in the East with 28. So the West, a really, really strong division, showing that these interdivision matchups work even bigger.
Anderson looks at a off-speed pitch just outside. So for the second straight at-bat, Harwich hitters have brought Armistead from ahead in the count to a full count. King walked, and this 3-2 misses outside, so Anderson walks as well, and that will bring up the tying run to the plate.
Good battle back by Anderson in that count. Work himself into a walk, but this is now going to elicit a conversation with Aaron Parker to come out from home plate to go talk to Armistead here himself with, it's only a 3-1 lead. So the tying run is now in the box with Culpepper.
Number 7, Kalen Culpepper.
Culpepper, so far on the day, 0 for 2, but he did have a sac fly in the third. And timeout called by Coach Eric Beatty, and he will make his way to the mound, and this will do it for Will Armistead, I believe.
Calling in the entire defense, hasn't motioned as someone will start to run in from the bullpen, though. That will do it for Armistead's night. 5-2, Hawks leading over the Mariners.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head. Means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Coach Eric Beatty has made the call to the bullpen, and he brings in the money lefty Hyannis and Jamie Arnold to the mound, a guy that has had a ton of success out here on the Cape.
Jamie Arnold now going to appear in his 10th game on the summer. A guy that was in the bullpen from day one, a very likable guy, has 2 starts to his name already, a 16 1/3 innings pitched. Struck out 21, only gave up 13 walks, only has walked 5. And we talked about it yesterday. Darren Horn and Jamie Arnold said that they work together in tandem. And they're able to now come in to the same game. And who knew we were talking to 2 pitchers yesterday that were going to come in and play today.
So it'll be Culpepper standing in, a righty on lefty. Arnold delivering his pitches from a lower 3/4 release from the left side. The first pitch to him is in there for a strike. Arnold, a 2.76 ERA so far on the year and 21 strikeouts through 16 1/3 innings. Trying to protect a 5-2 Harbor Hawk lead, and that one's flown down the right field line and foul. And quickly 0-2, but Armistead was getting ahead in counts as well. He just couldn't put away these Harwich hitters.
They were staying disciplined, and they weren't really chasing anything away. Skip Eric Beatty understands how big this game is as well.
0-2 to Culpepper. Misses down and in.
Like we touched on with Bourne not playing today, you get a 6-point lead over the Bravos, providing some great cushion all the way.
King at second, Anderson at first, and that's a line drive into left field. Giving chase is Mitchell. He backs up and puts it away. That was scorched into the left field gap, but good job by Mitchell to cover a lot of ground to get there and retire the first out of the inning.
And with it being in left field, it doesn't allow King to be able to tag on the sacrifice of the fly ball, and especially with Mitchell's arm. We saw it last night on that fabulous throw.
And that will bring in Mason Guerra. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Arnold deals the 0-1, and it drops in there for a strike. So 0-2 the count here to Guerra. Excuse me, it's 1-1. Pitch to him, misses low. So 5-2 the score. It's 2-1 the count to Guerra. After a pair of walks to start off the inning and then a fly out to left by Culpepper for the first out. Arnold deals, and it is in there, inner third of the plate at the letters, called strike 2. Perfect pitch. Nothing you can do with that except try and have an inside-out approach and flip that one out to right. Guerra about to see a 2-2 from Arnold. The pitch fouled off to the right. Arnold was also named an All-Star just a couple of hours ago.
rightfully so. What a deserving individual to get an all-star nod.
2-2 misses low, and the count runs full. And again, Harwich putting together a really nice at-bat. So the infield has a big hole on the right side. They're playing him to pull. Here's the pitch to Guerra, and it misses off the plate away. So the bases are loaded, and the tying run is at first with the go-ahead run coming to the plate.
But with one away and bases loaded, the double play possibility is still, in fact, in play here. But you're going to go up against Devin Obie. Hasn't had his night in the box, only has a walk.
And he swings and misses at a fastball at the first pitch. And that was one of the most lively fastballs Arnold has thrown today. So 0-1 the count in a 5-2 game. Second pitch to him, misses low. Count even at 1-1. Infield at double play depth. Cam Smith guarding that left field line a couple of steps over and playing back. Trying to prevent an extra base hit here. 1-1 is just inside, and count leverage here for Obie.
Got nowhere to put him here either. Gotta have to imagine he's going to go into the zone here, and Obie knows it as well.
0 for 2 day with a walk on his line today, and he beats him with a fastball to the outer third of the plate.
Yeah, there's that outer half again, and that's so good because you have to extend on that. And sending it to right field is going to allow Lipsy, if he gets any contact on it, to give a big throw home. Good pitch there from Arnold.
2-2, bases loaded. Here's the pitch, and it is just outside. Wow.
I mean, Arnold is looking at a few of these pitches, wondering what else he can do. I mean, he's putting them right close, and he's just somehow not getting the calls.
No place to put him. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Obie. And it's a jam shot, right side, Lipsy racing in, and it will fall into the Bermuda Triangle. Hainline picks it up, fires it in. Only 1 run will score, as everybody had to wait for that one to fall. It's King coming across to score the 3rd run of the game for Harwich. And just an unfortunate result for Jamie Arnold.
It's a tough thing. You had 2 calls you thought pocketed. They don't go your way. Only 1 comes in, though, off of a great throw. But you're still looking for 2 outs.
So here's Ali Camarillo. In a 5-3 game now. Lead cut to 2, and he swings and misses, fooled by a fastball. And the tying run stands at second in scoring position. That's Mason Guerra, the left fielder. The go-ahead run is on first. Here's the pitch, and there's a fly ball foul right side. Camarillo homered in the 7th. Off of Darren Horn, the only mistake he made all day. But he's behind in the count 0-2, and that hasn't stopped Harwich hitters from putting together good at-bats, falling behind in count. And there's a line drive into right center field, and it will fall right in front of Lipsy. He's going to come up throwing, but it's going to be cut off, and Harwich has tied the game. 2 runs score. Guerra comes around from second. Anderson comes from third. And it's a 3-run 8th, and we're tied at 5.
Yeah, just a great poke by Camarillo out into the gap into shallow right center field. Lipsy can't get there quick enough. But now the go-ahead run stands at third with only 1 away.
So here's Casey Sauke. Double play still in order. Here's the pitch, and it misses low for ball 1. Man, the at-bats that Harwich has put together in this inning have been phenomenal. They've been able to battle in 2 strike counts. Work Arnold's pitch count, and in that 0-2 count, they deliver. And there's a ground ball right back to Arnold. He throws to second for 1, on to first, in time, and he escapes. A double play turned 1-4-3, and the game is tied at 5. Headed to the 9th, Hyannis and Harwich on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Tie game at 5, a new ball game headed into the 9th. It was 3 runs in the 8th for Harwich. And we are tied at 5, and now both managers and all the umpires are huddled together as the weather continues to approach.
Now with a tie ball game going into the top of the 9th, backs against the wall for Hyannis, but have to just focus on the game in front of you. You're going to have Cam Smith, Zach York, and Elijah Hainline, the meat of your order, due up here to try and respond. This is a rather lengthy conversation between both managers with the umpiring crew as well, which doesn't give anyone warm and fuzzies.
Yeah, especially here for Hyannis. This is what Eric Beatty is trying to say, is that he just wants this to go a little bit more, because had they just gotten one out in that inning, Eric Beatty would be fine with having this conversation. But now he wants his team with the chance to respond here in the top of the 9th with the meat of the order coming up.
Yeah, so as we've been mentioning throughout the broadcast, there have been thunderstorms inbound as Colin Caldwell will come in for Harwich, but there's major rain on the forecast within the next hour or maybe even half hour.
Yeah, it looks like Caldwell is ready, and he kind of just gave what's going on here a little bit of a shrug.
And they are going to call this game before it even starts raining. The umpire looked up towards the press box and cut it off. Unbelievable. Not a drop of rain has fallen in the last 2 hours, and the teams will depart the field the minute Harwich ties the game.
It's one of those they wanted to be careful, especially with the darkness as well, of whether if you started this inning.
And they're going to say it's because of the darkness.
I
and
disagree.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can see baseballs right now. This is wow. I am speechless.
I mean, you can definitely see right now. I don't know if they want to be able to get everybody out of here before the rain comes. I don't know if it's there. I don't agree with the darkness call here.
Sunset isn't for another 43 minutes. And due to the overcast skies, I guess it's making it too dark to play baseball. But, wow. So Harwich will come back with 3 runs in the 8th, and that's all we're going to get. So the game will end in a tie. Hyannis picks up a point here, but it could have been 2.
It could have been 2, but once again, you just got to keep moving on. They're going to face Falmouth tomorrow in a very large meeting in the West Division.
Yeah, so that is going to do it for our coverage here from White House Field. Again, final score 5-5. There's going to be a lot to be talked about in this one going forward. But thank you, everybody, so much for watching. For our entire broadcast crew, Jacob Irons, Michael Kirsting, for Nico Shark, Grant McNew, Josh Schreiber, My name is Mickey Doolittle signing off here from White House Field. Once again, final score 5-5, and we'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history.
My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.